Hello, I'm David Morgan of the Kansas chapter. And on behalf of the Practice Technology Committee, this is the Tech Tip of the Month. And today I have with us Amy Amundsen, and she is an attorney in Memphis, Tennessee. And of course, if I hear Memphis, Tennessee, I got to ask Amy, did you know Elvis Presley? Well,
Well,
sadly, she did not. And she reminds me that my timeline might be a little off. Well, today Amy is going to talk about handling large groups of documents and what she does to possibly help other attorneys. All right. Now, with that, I'm going to ask my first question, Amy. Does your practice sometimes involve large groups of documents?
yes, David, it does. And thank you so much for welcoming me to this tech tip of the month. Um, as most of the fellows do, we have large files, whether that be financial documents, operating documents, contracts, discovery, depositions, etc. So I think a software program that I started using about 6 years ago when I decided to go virtual um, is Adobe Acrobat Pro. Now, there are other types of software within the Adobe family, and we'll discuss that later on. But that's what I like using.
Well, tell us just generally, how do you use Adobe with these large groups of documents?
Well, you're able to take a scanned or faxed document and convert it through a searchable OCR into a PDF OCR so that you can search it. And then you could just ask for a name or ask for an amount of deposit or uh, date of birth. And then what you could go through thousands of pages in in split seconds. You can get this information. Also, with large exhibits, if you were an arbitrator and you needed to write your award, you can look through all your exhibits to get a specific, maybe a term that you're looking for. So it's very helpful um, through Adobe to be able to convert it to OCR that you can find it searchable. There are other attributes to the software, which we'll talk about later. Bait stamping your discovery, your exhibits, um, redacting certain portions of your PDF, and a password protecting, providing electronic signatures for your client for documents, comparing documents. So it's very helpful through all stages of your case.
All right, well, great. So my next question is, do you have some examples to show us how you use Adobe?
Well, I certainly do, and I have a little PowerPoint to maybe show you some of the attributes of Adobe Acrobat.
All right, I can see that on the screen there. I can see it, so it's coming through well.
Right. So I use it because it reduces time, it delivers a good product, and it allows me to work remotely. So the four tasks that I would like to cover today is converting an optical character recognition, OCR, Bates numbering, redacting a PDF, and password protecting a document. So how do you make scanned or faxed PDF searchable? Well, what I'd like to do is go step by step through the process for those that may be unfamiliar with it. You want to go to your tool, navigate to your toolbar, and find under Convert, Scan and OCR. You open it up, and you will have two selections. You could either select a file or scan a document. I chose select a file. Then you will see recognized. You will find a smaller box. You want it to um, scan the entire document. This document is 9 pages. So we want all pages. and the language is English, and then you press recognize text. Then on the far right side, it will start converting the scanned pages to a searchable image exact. And what that allows you to do is go up to your search uh, right up here where
Okay.
it's dark, and you'll see a box, and I just chose the word child. So in this 9-page document, it will tell me instantly where the word child is located. You have any questions, David?
Well, I guess, shoot, this is for your work and large documents, but I guess if your client sent you 60 pages of text messages, you could do the same thing and then search for certain words that the clients might
Yes,
have said, and you would know them instantly.
correct.
Same thing.
Same thing.
All right, good.
And
Go
all
ahead.
you have to do, there's two little arrows, and this arrow with it's now red, but it's an arrow that you would go immediately to the next the next page where the word shows up.
All right, I got
All
you.
right. So now we're going to be going to Bates numbering, which is also under this area. And I'll show you when you hit Bates numbering, you will have a box. And this particular document was called white papers, and you can add files to it. So this is very important if you are going to trial and you want several exhibits, and you have discovery and you want to bait stamp your discovery. And so you add each of the files to it and press OK. You will see a large box, and in this large box, there'll be a certain font, how you would like your bait stamp looking. And here I like Arial. The size, you can have it really tiny, or I like 10. And then you have an option. Do I want to put it in the left header, the center header, the right header, or the left footer, the center footer, or the right footer? And then you insert, I chose the center, and then I chose for the date to have it on the right side.
Hmm.
Then there's a small little box that shows up, and the first is the number of digits. I chose 3 just because there's only 9 pages to it, and it'll go 001, 002, all the way up to 9. But this particular software goes as far as 999,999. So there's 6 digits. You start with number 1, and then the prefix, I just use my initials, but you could put plaintiff, you could put defendant, whatever you want, and then hit OK. So you'll see how that is applied. I put it in the center footer. So AJA, this happens to be on page 4, so it's 004, and then the date in which I created this.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is date numbering.
No, I'm following it. I don't know if I could do it on my own, but that's very helpful and that's good to know. A lot of, I don't know, I'm going to ask you kind of a weird question here, but a lot of times when I see PDFs like this, the page number such as 4, and you look at over to the right with the page number on the PDF there, they don't correlate. One's different than the other. And it bothers me. I don't know if I should say the number on the document or the number on the PDF. How do you get those to be the same?
Well, you start out with 1.
Yeah,
Okay, so, and if I added several files to it, it wouldn't correlate, right? Because it would be numerically done, base
yeah.
stamp. Okay,
Yeah, and I think some of my things have a cover sheet or something that is it's wasteful. So we don't number them, but there is a number on the PDF. Okay, go ahead.
so your next task that we'll talk about is organizing pages. And this is very important when you want to change the lineup of certain documents, you want to insert. You'll see when you hit the organized pages, you'll see a blue line and you move it to wherever you'd like to move it. And you can extract pages. You could replace pages. You could split the document. You could add, like this is very important if you were going to do like request for reduction of documents. Maybe you want to add request number 1, and then that would be there. Then request number 16, and you would add that page in between that document. So organizing pages is something that Adobe Pro does quite well. Moving on to redacting certain
Now let me,
certain portions.
I'm
Yes.
sorry there. Before you move on, give us some examples of why you would reorganize pages of a document. That I understand what that means, but I'm thinking, well, I really don't know how many times I would use that in my practice. When do you find that useful to reorganize pages?
Well, I find it useful to insert pages in between discovery requests. I have like a bunch of my documents and I upload them, and then I want to put a blank page in between them. I do that. Perhaps if I want to I don't necessarily like reorganize a document. I mean, I pretty much have a flow. It's more in discovery or exhibits or
Okay, I
that.
understand that.
Okay, as far as redacting a PDF, it's really important before you do this particular task to make a copy of what you're doing. Because if you don't make a copy beforehand, it is permanently redacted. So you want to copy the document. And then go to redact a PDF. And the first thing you want to do is go to set properties. And in this redaction tool properties, you're going to see whether or not you want to put it as black or white or some other color. And then you want to go in the document itself to go and choose the word or words that you want to redact. So I just chose self-determination, and it will put a red box around the word. Then what you want to do is apply. Hit apply. Then you'll see this box that comes up. Warning, warning. This will permanently remove the redacted information from this document. Once you save this document, you're not going to be able to retrieve the redacted information. That is why caution, make a copy before you start this redacting business. Also, your document might contain hidden data and metadata. Do you wish to remove them too? Now, metadata, you know, is the properties behind the document, who's the author, when was it modified, and who changed it, etc. So I didn't choose that. But if you want to, you toggle it to the right, and that's when you sanitize it, remove hidden information, and then hit continue. So what will happen? I worked on a resolution for the Academy on the arbitration resolution, and that was just a copy that I showed you an earlier version. But when you save it, it will automatically populate a redacted. So then you know that's the one that's been redacted. Also, under redact a PDF, you can go to find text and redact. Now, this is important if you have some highly sensitive information in documents, such as social security number, date of birth, trade secrets of some sort, and you want to redact certain portions of it. What you do is go to patterns, and they have already some selected for you: phone numbers, credit cards, social security numbers, email addresses, and dates. So that is quite nice that this is provided. And of course, you can say either this current document or all the PDF documents in my, and then whatever selection.
Oh, that's very impressive. Look, before you leave there, I remember in the tech committee, there was a discussion about a law firm that redacted documents and sent them out. And it was discovered that the other law firm that received them could figure out how to unredact them. So they did not redact the documents properly. So what are you aware of that? You probably are.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And
What?
that is this actually does go through that layer. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay,
They just
which
blacked it out. They kind of blacked it out and they were able to extract it by simply going back to it and then picking it up and putting it into a Word document.
okay, what level of your redaction ensured that that would not happen, that it would actually be redacted and no one could unredact it?
Well, it's going to be under the password protection, remove hidden information. Well, that's document security. But when you redact it, it's not going to be able to extract the underlying layer
Okay.
of
All right.
information.
All right. Well, then if they follow the way you did it, they know whatever they send out is redacted and nobody can change it. Correct. All right.
Right.
Go ahead.
So this is removing the metadata. Some jurisdictions you can or cannot do, so just check your ethics. But this is where it's under protect a PDF. And you would just hit the remove the hidden information. And that's the metadata that provides when the document was created, modifications of it, and the author. The document security is the one you want to choose if you want to password it, protect it. You select a file. There's my arrow, select a file. I selected the white papers of this, giving the history of the Tennessee family law section's efforts to get the Uniform Family Law Arbitration Act passed in Tennessee. We have yet to do it, but we're working on it. And this is how you do it. You hit the protect with password. Then it will tell you require a password to open the document, and you put I just put three symbols, but and you could tell it's very weak. So you would go and put your password in there, encrypt it, press OK, and then it will show you when it's been successfully protected
All right.
from editing during the password.
Great.
So the Adobe Acrobat Pro that I've been using for the last 6 years costs me about $24 a month. There is an Adobe Express, which is another little bling bling that they offer you. If you want to have like handouts with your logo on it, if you want to remove backgrounds on things, there's a lot of creative activity that you could do with Adobe Express. I'm currently not subscribing to that. Um, I find that Adobe Acrobat Pro is fine with me. The Adobe Acrobat Studio is something that is relatively new. It came out, I believe, last year, and it offers the Pro, the Express, the AI, the PDF space, etc. And it's about $30 a month. I haven't really explored much of the studio, but it is something I want to let the fellows know. Someone more advanced than me can sign up for the studio if they prefer, but it is quite powerful software that you can make movies, edit movies, etc.
Yeah. I'm going to ask one question. When you say $23.99 a month for Pro, I would assume that means every station within your law firm, you just don't pay one and you can have it used by six people. If
Correct.
there's six
It's
people,
one
it's
license. Correct.
per user.
Yes,
Yeah.
per
And
user.
that's what gets kind of
That's
pricey in my opinion.
yeah, cost per license.
All
Mhm.
right, that sounds good. All right.
Yes.
Well,
So I did want to go and show you one last um I told you I'd give you a little surprise. And this is my Adobe Pro. And this was an article that I wrote for the Sons of Norway magazine. In the last 6 years, I've gone into Norway a few times and gone to the Fram Museum and the Bergen Maritime Museum. And my great grandfather is Anton Amundsen. That's the picture of him on the left. And he was on the first Fram expedition to the North Pole with Friedrich
oh,
Nansen, and he was the chief engineer, and he invented this water sampler that you could see. This is the item right here, and it's a crew of 13, and they went for 3 years. Anyway, I wanted to know how I can use some of the things in Adobe Acrobat Pro. You can generate a podcast in a few seconds. I can go and generate a podcast where it would give me two individuals that talk about this article. I could also press up here and it would read to me this article. So, would you like to have this read, or would you want to see how a podcast can be created,
oh, I
David?
I would prefer a podcast, but I guess
Okay, we'll see what we can do. We'll do one that will go for 6 minutes. How's that? We
all
want
right.
the smaller version. So it may take a few minutes to do, but and we're not going to keep the fellows on for this long. Once it goes, we're going to have a little, you know, sample of it, but we don't have to listen for 6 minutes on
All
this
right. Well, that's fair enough. And like this all has to do with Norway, where your uh
ancestry.
ancestry and descendants came from. But and
Mhm.
I need to ask you, what country won the most gold medals in the most recent Winter Olympics?
I think, David, you might know it's Norway.
All right, I had a feeling you would know that.
Yes, yes, they are quite athletic. I think they are born in their first birthday gift or skis. So,
Yeah.
mhm. So I do want the fellows to see some of the other things I didn't cover, but how to edit a PDF. Okay, podcast is over with, but also how to file and sign a document. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Yep.
Whoops.
Now, are we supposed to hear this?
Yes, can you hear it?
No, I can't hear it.
Oh, can you read it?
I can read it. I can
Yes.
read it, and I see a speaker, but I can't hear it. There you go. I can hear you though.
Yeah. So
There.
there are two people talking, and they're giving a presentation on the article itself.
Well, great.
So
Now, I might have heard something there in the background, but
no problem. So
no. What you showed us was you can have an article or information of any kind, And with Adobe, you can create a podcast or you can listen to it. It will read it to you. All
Yes.
right. That's impressive.
Well, David, I thank you very much, and I
Oh,
hope the fellows um, did gain some
no,
information out
no.
of this.
I thought that was excellent. And I think everybody should look at this, attorneys and their staff. Now, you said you had a couple other things that you wanted to show us, but I think if you can do that, that's fine. If not, we'll go ahead and sign off and we'll go to next month.
I think that's enough for today, and we can always come back to this with higher level, like adding exhibits to the discovery, and binders, and possibly PowerPoint slides.
Oh, that sounds good, but I think if we go to an advanced level, that means we have to learn the basic levels, and I think that's going to take quite a bit of work based on what you showed us. But no, this was excellent. Thanks again, Amy. And for now, it's over and out from the Practice Technology Committee.
And if you'd like a copy of the PDF, the PowerPoint presentation, just email me at
And you can,
amy@amundsenlegalconsulting.com.
no, I think that's good because that would be a really good PowerPoint to have. Okay, thank you again, and I'm signing off.
Thank you.